There are not a ton of campers out there that I can stand next to and be taller than, but this here is one of them. Now, how could I even fit inside? Let's go take a look. Come on. What's up, y'all? Welcome back to another video. If you're new here, my name is Myles with Firmly Unbound, and we are here taking a look at this Modern Buggy Country Born. This one here is actually a 2025 model, and doing a little digging and research into this brand because I haven't filmed any videos of this brand before in the past. It looks like they have made some changes to the 2026 model versus what we're looking at here. However, this is such a niche product that is not going to move a whole ton of units in terms of sales compared to a lot of your more standard types of RVs, that there's still enough 2025 RVs and models like this out in the market that I think it's still worth showing. Plus, it's just so unique. I couldn't pass up the opportunity walking by it to take a look at it. But as we go through this little camper here, I mean, you can see as I walk up to it, I'm standing at about 6'3" with my shoes on right now. And aside from the awning itself, I mean, I am taller than this camper. Now, one of the main advantages to a camper like this is going to be the fact that you can store it inside of your residential garage. So if you live in a townhouse, an apartment, or a home with its own garage, this is one of the very few campers on the market that you can actually store inside of your own garage, in your own residence, which makes it a huge perk to have, because even someone like myself with my camper, I think it's like I pay over $100 a month to store my camper in covered storage. I don't remember if it's like 140 or 160 exactly, but over $100 nonetheless. So this mitigates that cost there with a camper like this. Now, on the outside, it is a full fiberglass exterior, including the roof. So you can see there's no seam here anywhere on the roof. So it is this full fiberglass panel that goes all the way up through the roof there. You have this awning out here on the outside, and then we have up front a metal storage box. We have a hand crank manual tongue jack there. The metal storage box, very nice, pops open. You have your spot for your batteries right here. Then it does have a wheel there as well for the tongue jack. This is certainly in that size camper where you definitely, if you put the wheel on the tongue jack, can move this around with your bare hands with how small and light it is. And speaking of which, let's get to the specs real quick on this, because that's obviously pretty dang important. So as we come down here, we have a gross vehicle weight rating on this of 2,200 pounds, but that is coming with a 934 pound cargo carrying capacity. So that means dry without anything in this camper, it is only going to be about, what, like 1,300 pounds or so, 1,200, 1,300 pounds. That's going to make this towable by even some like cars out there. I mean, certainly like Subaru owners, a lot of different SUV owners out there, Jeep owners, like a Jeep Wrangler could tow something like this. And it's obviously also kind of geared towards being a little bit more all-terrain capable with these bigger mud tires here. These are the Westlake Mud Legend tires, getting you a really substantial ground clearance under here as well. Does have two manual stabilizers along the back, and because there's no interior kitchen, we do have a rear kitchen here along the back. You can see the door here that will open and close. That's what that looks like there. Have the Country Born logo on the back. And then we have a solid surface countertop right here. So not a wrapped countertop, an actual solid surface countertop, stainless steel sink, and then we have some storage compartment doors you can see through here. Now, from the pictures I saw online of the 2026 models, it looks like they actually made some of this storage accessible from both outside and inside the camper, which I think is pretty smart. I'm surprised they didn't do that from the get-go. But then some of the quality of materials feels pretty nice too. This, I don't know if it's a plastic or a composite material exactly, but nonetheless, it kind of feels like a plastic cutting board that you would have in your home. And that entire wall panel here is that material there. So it's not like a traditional, just very flimsy material. It's actually very solid on that. You also had some outlets and USB ports there in that portion. And actually, let me correct myself. Not an outlet there. You have a 120 watt outlet right here, and then your USB ports right there. Coming along this way, you have your 30 amp plug right here. It does have a leash latch right here for pets, and you have a bottle opener. Looks like we got a spray port there for an external water source, a freshwater connection. So it does have a freshwater tank inside. We have a solar panel up on the roof. See that there? And then an entry door from each side. So Now the question becomes, what the heck is the interior space on this camper? You can see right there we have a sofa set up, so it does look like we can actually sit here and hang out in the space. Now I have the camera on just the traditional lens right now, kind of see the space through here. We do have an air conditioner in there as well, and a pretty decent amount of floor space. But let me widen the camera angle here so you can get more information here in the frame, and then I'm gonna put the camera in the camper and we're gonna get inside. All right, y'all, as I climb inside of here, you know, surprisingly, close this door. It's a magnet latch to hold that door open. This is usable. It's a usable space in here. I'll have to show an image because I don't know if I need a proper tool to reach down here and get this board off of what's on the floor here. But this is actually a table, so you can't have a table that pops up here, and you can have a surface to, you know, work on. You can obviously have a meal on there or anything like that, but you have a table space. You don't have a TV in here. I believe the 2026 models will come with a TV on the wall here to my left, at least on one of their models that they make that's in this kind of size range here. There are some outlets and USB ports behind me. It's a fiberglass roof or ceiling material too, which is pretty nice. And overall, I mean, there's enough space here certainly to work with. I think about, you know, right now I'm in a stage of life where my wife and I, we just had our first child even, and let me get behind the camera real quick. And I even look at a camper like this where, you know, with a newborn, if we wanted to camp in something like this, we could certainly make it work. Like, our child already sleeps in the bed with us at this point right now. And, you know, going camping in something like this certainly could continue to do that, because basically when you convert this area into sleeping, we're going to just unfold everything here, and it's going to turn our entire base surface. I'm not going to do both of them because I just feel like that's not necessary, really. You can see here we have this whole entire surface turning into a bed. And now when I go to lay on this area, see how I fit here. So I'm going to have my feet not quite up against the wall here. Yeah, this is right at about 6 feet long or so. So with my shoes on, the platform on my shoes is having me right at about 6'3". And if I just stacked up some pillows right here, or even if I just scrunch up just a little bit or lay diagonal, it's 6'1", my height without shoes. I definitely can lay on this bed here. This is enough space to lay on. And I think, you know, for most people, the real advantage to purchasing something like this is really only going to be one of two reasons. One, you just really want something you can store in your garage that, you know, makes that part of the RV ownership experience easier, being able to store it on your own property, hidden away in a garage. Or you own a vehicle where this is pretty much the only thing that you can tow, or that you can comfortably tow getting to where you want to go. These are all what feels like wood cabinet doors too. They don't feel like a pressed material. It looks like they're actually painted or stained there. Same with this too. This all feels better quality than what you find in other campers. Have some storage spaces through here as well. But those are the two advantages for sure. Let me turn back around this way. There's nothing really back through here. Just like, you know, kind of some space that you could stuff things back into. Back through there, you have outlets, USB ports up through here. And then a vent fan up above my head. Looks like there's no heating source in here, so just air conditioning. But that is pretty much it. Now, the big thing on this that also can sometimes be a difficult thing to wrap your head around is the cost of a camper such as this. So this camper here, the 2025 model, they have listed here at this show for $16,997, which is definitely pretty expensive. You can easily get campers that are much bigger than this that are going to be at that same price or even less expensive than what this camper is. Now, there's a couple reasons for that I want to explain to you in a way that hopefully can make a little bit of sense around the price of what this camper is. So number one, this camper is going to be built with some higher quality materials than you see in some of the entry level stuff, like your aluminum sided campers that are just your basic, most entry level campers that you can find that may be a little bit bigger than this are certainly not going to be the same quality exactly on what this is here. And in addition to that, I mean, like you see things here, you have an Asdel exterior and interior sidewall, for instance, and various other things as well. But also the thing that has to be considered and just can't be overlooked, and this is just the reality of how markets work and how businesses work. Not a whole lot of people are buying campers like this. There's a very slim, small market for the consumer of a camper like this. So for a camper brand like this to exist, and mind you, Modern Buggy does make a bunch of other campers as well that maybe might be a little bit more suited for, you know, a more mass audience of people. But for them to make a reasonable profit on this that keeps the line in production in business with all the employees that they have to pay, the payments that they have to make on the properties they have to own to produce these products and all that stuff, they just simply need to make more money per RV that they sell than some other brands do, because they don't have the sheer volume of units sold that other brands will have. And so that's worked into the pricing as well. And that's just the reality of how that business model is going to have to work for brands like these to stay in business, to keep producing these models and be able to pay for everything that is required to keep the business operating. So that's kind of where my thought process goes when I think about how these are priced the way that they are. Curious your guys' thoughts though, and curious on what you think about this little Modern Buggy Country Born here. So let me know down below in the comments. Just a cool, fun camper to take a look at. Not something I would probably buy for myself, but if I owned a Jeep Wrangler or something like that, possibly. So let me know what you think down below in the comments. And until next time, live firmly on that.